Hi guys, this is Vineet and I welcome you to this video. Today's video topic is transaction log disk space requirement for index DDL operation. Or before we proceed ahead, I would request all you guys to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. The reason I'm asking you to subscribe is because I don't want you to miss on any of the videos that I will be creating on indexing in the upcoming 15 to 20 days. So that's the reason I'm asking you to subscribe. So please go ahead and subscribe right away. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button and follow the process. So go ahead right now. I'm waiting. So guys, I hope you must have subscribed by now, so we can proceed ahead. There are some points to remember while watching this video. Please watch this video till the end to gain better clarity of the concept. And if it's possible for you, please watch this video twice or as many times as you like until the concept gets clear to you. Perform any exercises in your test and lab environments, only do not touch any production environment or production databases. We would like to know your thoughts regarding our videos, so please do share any your comments and suggestions. Also share your stories as well. We eagerly wait for your comments and stories, so please do share those with us. We have created some playlists for you to watch. Some of the popular SQL Server playlists are SQL Server database design, tables, business continuity, indexing, performance tuning, integration services, transact SQL. If we talk about this video pertains to the SQL Server indexing category. We have more than 15 videos under the SQL Server indexing category at present. And if we talk about the total number of videos posted on our channel, it's more than 240 videos. And soon we are reaching the 250 level mark. We will let you know once that mark is reached. My channel page link is given at the bottom of this slide. Also guys, the link to all these playlists and the channel link, page link are given in the video description area of this video. So please check out the video description area of this video and go to the individual playlist. The reason we create playlists for you is because playlists are the best way to learn. So for example, if you want to learn about the indexing topic or SQL Server indexing topic, what we would recommend is please go to that playlist and watch out all the videos from beginning till the end to get better grasp on that particular area. Alright, let's come back to today's topic, which is transaction log disk space requirements for any index DDL operation or index creation operations. So let's go through the theory. This will be a theoretical session, and in fact next video will also be a theoretical session, but yeah, we will in that session we will tell you how you can calculate the estimated amount of disk space required for the index DDL operations. So in this video we will be discussing how much transaction log disk space is required, and we will talk about these requirements in general. We will not be calculating them actually, but yeah, this will be a theoretical discussion on this topic. Now let's begin. Now if we talk about the large scale index operations, what do we mean by large scale index operations? Basically the tables which are very large in size do have index that are also large in size. So if we are performing any operations on those kind of indexes, those are known as large scale index operations. And basically these large scale index operations can generate large data loads that can cause transaction log to fill quickly. So if our index is large and we are trying to rebuild that index, this rebuilding process will generate large amount of data load that can cause the transaction log to fill quickly. And to make sure that the index operation can be rolled back, the transaction log cannot be truncated until the index operation has completed. So this is one of the good points, that in order to ensure that the index operation cannot be rolled back, the transaction log cannot be truncated until the index operation gets completed. However, log can be backed up during the index operation. So let me go through that point quickly. So basically we were telling that large scale index operation will generate the large amount of data loads during the rebuild process and can cause transaction log to fill quickly. In order to ensure that index operation cannot be rolled back, the transaction log cannot be truncated until the index operation gets completed. However, this log file can be backed up and truncated during the index operation. So basically the transaction log must have sufficient space to store both the index operation transactions and any concurrent user transactions for the duration of the index operation. So transaction log should have sufficient space to hold both the index operation transactions as well as the concurrent user transactions occurring at the time of index operation. And this is true for both the online and offline index operations. Let's move on to next point. And because the underlying tables cannot be accessed during the offline index operation, so whenever we perform the offline index operation, we cannot access any underlying tables. So we cannot make queries, or user cannot make queries on the underlying tables if we are building an index in the offline mode. And there may be, so in these scenarios where we are building or rebuilding the index in the offline mode, there may be fewer user transactions as the table is not accessible, so therefore there will be quite lesser user transactions and the log may not grow as quickly. So under those scenarios where we are offline rebuilding the indexes, there are less chances that we have many user transactions, and there are less chances that your log will get filled quickly. If we talk about the online index operations, these operations do not prevent concurrent user activity. So if we are rebuilding an index in an online mode, so if we are doing an online index operations, these operations do not prevent the concurrent user activity. Therefore, large-scale online index operations combined with significant concurrent user transactions. So if we combine the large-scale online index operations along with the significant concurrent user transactions, this can cause continuous growth of the transaction log without an option to truncate the log. So in this scenario, there won't be any option to truncate the log, and this will cause the continuous growth of the transaction log if we combine the large scale online index operations with the significant concurrent user transaction. Or in other words, we can say if we are building a large scale index in an online mode, that will cause significant transaction log activity and your transaction log will grow quickly. Now, what do we recommend regarding the rebuilding of indexes? Now, whenever you are running a large scale index operations or whenever you are rebuilding a large scale indexes, consider the following guidelines or recommendations. Make sure that your transaction log is backed up first, so that it should have a space. Whenever you back up a transaction log file, it releases a space because it writes down any committed transactions to the backup and it truncates those transactions out of the transaction log file. So we need to make sure that the transaction log is backed up and truncated before running any large scale index operations in the online mode. And we need to ensure that the log has sufficient space to store the projected index. So our log file must have sufficient space to store the projected index and the user transaction. Now, second recommendation is we should consider setting the sort in tempdb option to on whenever we are performing the rebuilding operation on the indexes. We can turn on the sort in tempdb option for the index operations. When we turn on this option, the sort in tempdb, this basically separates the index transactions from the concurrent user transactions. So your index transactions will get separated from the concurrent user transactions whenever you turn on the option sort in tempdb. Now, if this option is turned to on, the index transactions will be stored in the tempdb transaction log. So if you turn on the sort in tempdb option to on, what happens is that your index transaction will be stored in the tempdb transaction log instead of user database transaction log. And any of the current user transactions will be stored in the transaction log of the user database. So this option basically separates the index operations with the user activity or user concurrent operations. So your index transaction will get stored in the transaction log of the tempdb, whereas your current user transactions will be stored in the transaction log of the user database. And this basically allows for the transaction log for the user database to be truncated. So by following this approach, this allows us to truncate the transaction log for the user database during the index operation if it is required. Now additionally, if the tempdb log is not on the same disk, so if your tempdb log is not stored on the same disk as the user database log, two logs cannot compete for the same disk space. Now we need to verify that tempdb database, so for example, if we turn on the sort in tempdb option to on, by turning on this option or after turning on this option, we need to verify that the tempdb database and transaction log have sufficient disk space to handle the index operation. So our TempDB database must have sufficient space to handle the index operation if we turn on the sort in TempDB option. The TempDB transaction log cannot be truncated until the index operation is complete. Now, third recommendation is to use the database recovery model that allows for minimum logging of the index operation. So if we use certain kind of model that allows for minimal logging for the index operation, this may reduce the size of the log and prevent the log from filling the log space. So we can consider using the recovery model, maybe a simple recovery model for the minimal logging of the indexing operation. We can consider that, and this may reduce the size of the log and prevent the log from filling the log space. And the fourth recommendation is to do not run the online index operation. So if it is possible, do not run the online index operation in an explicit transaction. The log will not be truncated until the explicit transaction end. So always, if we want to run the online index operation, run it as an implicit transaction instead of the explicit transaction, because the log will not be truncated unless the explicit transaction ends. So guys, we are done with this video. I hope you like the content of this video. In this video we have discussed about the transaction log disk space requirements for any of the index DDL operations. We have talked about this topic in general, and we have also discussed about some of the recommendations that you can follow while working with the large scale index operations. And a few of the recommendations were made. Approximately 4 recommendations are made whenever you're working with large scale indexes. So I hope you like the content of the video. If you really like the content of the video, please click on the like button below this video. And guys, if you are new to this channel, or if you are an old viewer who are watching my videos from quite some time, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding my upcoming and future videos. The reason I'm asking you to subscribe is because I don't want you to miss on any of the videos that I will be creating on the indexing topic during the upcoming 15 to 20 days. So that's the reason I'm asking you to subscribe. And guys, if you have already subscribed to the channel, let me give you 5 seconds. Please go ahead and subscribe right away. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button and follow the process. I'm waiting right now. Please go ahead and do so. So guys, I hope you must have subscribed by now. If you have subscribed by now, I would request you guys to please post in your comments and suggestions and your feedback as well, because we eagerly wait for your comments, suggestions and feedbacks, and would love to read the same. And guys, if you have good network of friends who are also working in SQL Server domain, what I would need help from your end. Basically, there's a share button below each and every video. You can share my videos with them using that share button on any of the social media platform. You can share my videos with your friends, and you may also ask your friends to subscribe to my channel in case you feel my videos are good and can make difference in their life. Then yeah, in that case, you ask your friend to subscribe to my channel. I thank you so much for your time on this video, and you have a great day ahead. Thank you.